Lillian didn't want anything to get in the way. Just a few more weeks and it was done. Sarah. She thought she and Lillian were still friends. She couldn't get the hint that Lillian had no interest in hanging out with her. Sarah said it was because they needed to stay apart until the court cases were over. She really didn't get it. Lillian sighed at that thought. It was mean and unnecessary. Sarah wanted Liam back in her life, and Lillian was the way to get there. It didn't matter to Sarah that Liam wanted nothing to do with her. Sarah just couldn't accept that. She couldn't believe she had done so much damage to their relationship that it couldn't be fixed. 19 years with Liam, and she didn't know him at all. Sarah was settled into her new job and seemed happy. She missed her old pay, but it was still a good job with room to grow. She was also using her maiden name before the divorce made it official. She had a buyer for the house, which would close next week. It surprised Lillian that Sarah was doing her best to meet the divorce demands. Abby found a full-time job in an accounting firm. She, too, was trying to meet the settlement she signed. Unlike Sarah, Abby refused to accept responsibility for what she did to Liam. Nothing was Abby's fault. It was all Liam's fault. Lillian wanted to get mad at Abby. Abby didn't call Liam Dad anymore. He was just that guy, if she mentioned him at all. Abby was very upset that she was no longer in school. Having to work? That was not what Abby planned for her life. Forget her. It took her guy a week to break the meeting video into small parts to send to Liam. There were 5 videos, numbered in order. Liam, send me more pictures like that shirtless one. I'm making a calendar. Hurry up, buddy, I need more. More. I will send you the meeting in several emails today. A single video file was too big, so there will be 5 of them. Please don't be mad when you see the part where I talk tough to Sarah and Abby. It's what I do. I hope these videos give you some closure. So far, Sarah and Abby are keeping their promises. Your old house will be gone next week. It's amazing to see, but Sarah is doing everything to meet your demands. It's driving me crazy. She wants everything done perfectly. What a pain! I suspect she is writing to you at your old email address. She comes by my office at least twice a week and hints about it. Sarah just can't accept that she and I are no longer friends. It's annoying, but it's a small price to pay. I would do it 100 times over to help you. Do you want news of them? Sarah or Abby? Let me know. Be careful if you write to Sarah. She really thinks you will come back to her. Your choice, of course, but be careful what you say to her, okay? I really want to meet Maggie. Can I call her Maggie? Hope so. Pick a beach and I'll be there. I hope she doesn't mind if she reads this, but I can't help but think of her as Xena from that old TV show, Xena, Warrior Princess. She looks amazing in my mind like that. Does she have one of those outfits? I'm getting carried away here, I know. Maybe I need to get out and date some, but I'll wait until you get back. You still owe me a few dances, remember that? Don't make me come after you, Liam. It won't be good. I hope you finish that project early. I miss having you around. I miss hearing your voice. Maybe we can Skype sometime on the weekend? I don't know where you'll be or the time zones, so you can call me on a Saturday or Sunday my time. It doesn't matter what time it is here. Maybe once a month? No need for a strict schedule. Call when you can. Mr. Abernathy spoke to me last week. I know he's in touch with you. Did he tell you that you'll get a big bonus for finishing Phase 1 and Phase 2, whatever they are? He sounded very happy on the phone. Don't be surprised if you come home a millionaire. It could really happen with your settlements and bonuses. By the way, I sent him your shirtless photo. He said he shared it with everyone at the company. It's even a mural in the building lobby. Cool, huh? Okay, have to go and pretend I'm important. Write back when you can. Say hi to Xena for me. Lillian. After sending the emails, Lillian had another thought. She realized she needed to start going to the gym. She didn't want to meet Liam and Maggie looking out of shape in a bikini. 2 weeks later, Liam finally got a chance to watch the videos Lillian sent him. He was amazed by how well she handled the meeting and felt very thankful she backed him up. He had mixed feelings about how she treated Sarah and Abby. On one hand, he felt some justice seeing them punished. But on the other hand, it hurt. After all, Sarah was his wife of 19 years, and Abby his daughter. Maggie sat next to him watching the videos. She leaned into him for a hug. Are you happy, Liam? Is this what you wanted from all this? Liam sighed. Yes. No, I don't know. I'm just glad it's over. Lillian really went after them, didn't she? Maggie chuckled. She did. Do you think she was as angry as she seemed? I like her. I admire how she stood up for you. I can't think of anyone who would do that for me. Not like that. I really want to meet her now. She's a great friend." Liam laughed. She is a great friend and always has been. Yes, she was truly angry. What Sarah and Abby did, she took it personally. She's known them for almost 20 years. Abby her entire life. It felt like a betrayal to her, too. Maggie hesitated, then asked, "Will Lillian accept me? As part of your life? Maybe even more if we get that far?" Liam replied without hesitation. "She will. I'm sure of it, Maggie. She already does. Her comments about meeting you on the beach and the Xena outfit. She wouldn't say that about just anyone. Lillian expects you to be in my life. Firmly in my life. If she didn't want to be part of our life, she wouldn't talk about meeting us at the beach. That's how she thinks. You know, in 19 years, Sarah and I invited her on vacations many times, and not once did she accept. Not once. But you and I aren't even back in the States yet, and she's promised to meet us anywhere we choose. That's a big deal for Lillian. The Xena outfit? I agree. It would be awesome to see. It shows how comfortable she is with you already." Maggie laughed. "I should tell you then, I have that outfit in storage. I wore it to a Halloween party once in college. It still fits. I have a photo of me wearing it saved online. Want to see it?" "Absolutely." Maggie accessed her cloud account and downloaded the photo for him. "Wow, Maggie." Liam was very happy when he saw the picture. Maggie smiled. "I see you like that picture." "Yes, I do. You must have had everyone's attention at that party." "Not just guys, Liam. After some drinks, I foolishly announced that anyone who could beat me in a fight could take me on. It was interesting." Liam laughed. "How many tried? Did anyone win?" "Do you really want to know, Liam?" "Sure. Why not? It doesn't affect us. Not what you did before we were together. Would you hold my past against me?" "No, of course not. All right. Not one guy challenged me, not one. But there was a woman. She wore a Wonder Woman outfit. She even had a yellow rope. It was one of those scratchy nylon ones. She was very fit and very pretty. She challenged me." Liam's eyes widened. "Really? Who won?" Maggie made a mock frown. "She didn't last 90 seconds. Once she gave up, I made her obey me." "What do you mean?" "I used her rope and tied it around her neck. She had to follow me everywhere at the party. She kneeled at my feet, served me drinks and food by hand, publicly. When I went to the bathroom, she was there to help. After the party, she didn't win the challenge, but she did spend hours with me, Liam. Hours! When I had finally had enough, I let her touch herself to feel good in front of me. Then I sent her away." Liam's body was tense. "God, Maggie, do you do that a lot?" "Would you like it if I did?" Maggie gently held his hand and gave it a slight squeeze. "Oh, wow, I like it right now, Maggie." She laughed heartily. "I only did it that one time, Liam. It felt right that night." He threw his laptop on the sofa and pulled her close, kissing her deeply. Abby got home before her mom. She usually did. That was one more thing that annoyed her about her life right now. The condo her mom bought was okay. It wasn't fancy, but it was enough. A 3-bedroom, 3-bath with a 2-car garage. At least you couldn't hear the neighbors because the garages were placed between the units. Mom paid a big down payment, not wanting a large mortgage. She thought she should pay it off fast, for when he came back, like he would come back to her, to them. Abby poured herself a glass of white wine. She had recently turned 19, but her mom didn't care if Abby had wine at home. Her mom joked that it was a European thing. It was Friday, another dull Friday at home. Abby was bored. She was both bored and sad. Her birthday had passed without any word from that man. Not a text, not an email, no phone call, no letter, nothing. It wasn't fair how he treated her. Not fair at all. Mom had taken her to a fancy restaurant for her birthday and even snuck her into a dance club. Abby hadn't danced, of course. She didn't know how, didn't care to learn, and certainly wouldn't have danced with any of the guys who asked. Her mom had danced, though. She danced with different men and had a few drinks, just enough to start acting silly, like she was having fun and thought Abby should be having fun too. But Mom didn't understand that Abby couldn't have fun because that man ignored her birthday. Mom made excuses for him, of course. She couldn't stop making excuses. It was sickening. Different dates, she said. Different time zones, she said. He was working long hours, she said. How would she know that? It didn't matter, just excuses. So what if he had a tight schedule? So what if he was in a dangerous place? He chose to be there. He should have stayed home. He should have just done what Mom wanted. If not that, he should have stood up for himself, instead of letting Lillian do it for him. That was shameful. It was humiliating having Lillian judge her. Abby hated Lillian deeply. At least she thought she did. It made her upset, too. She felt tears run down her cheeks. Again. Sarah walked in and saw Abby at the kitchen table with a glass of wine and tears on her face. She frowned. It was going to be another tough night. "Are you hungry, Abby? Do you want to eat at home or go out somewhere? What do you prefer?" Sarah asked. Abby just shrugged. "I'm not hungry, Mom." "Oh? Why not?" "I'm just not." "All right then. Why don't I order some delivery? You might change your mind later. Thai food sound good?" "Sure, Mom. Get whatever you want." "Thai it is then. How was your day? Have you made any friends at work yet?" "No, why would I?" "Because it's normal to make friends, that's why." "All right then. Did anything interesting happen at work?" Abby shrugged again. "I got a pay raise during my monthly review today." "That's great. How much?" Abby sighed. $2.45 an hour. It starts Monday." "Wow. Why so much? You think that's a lot?" "It's sad." "Honey, you've only been there a few months. Most people get 50 cents to $1 an hour raise for your time there. Why did they give you such a big raise?" Abby frowned. "I guess because I found a mistake in one of their reports." "Wow, Abby, they have you reviewing reports?" "No, Mom. Get serious. I was just taking a report upstairs and I looked at it because I was bored. I found a big mistake that would have cost them a lot of money. I told them when I dropped it off." "What did they say?" Abby shrugged. "Nothing. I don't think they believed me." Later, though, the manager acted like he was scolding me, but he ended up thanking me. It was his report. "So, here's the thing, Mom. They want me to go back to school." "They do?" "Yes. Mr. Schofield said the firm would pay for me to finish my degree. It would be like a work release thing." "That's wonderful. Why aren't you happy?" "I turned it down. I had to. Work release means I would have to work fewer paid hours. I would go from full-time to part-time. I can't afford that. Not if I am to pay off the settlement from that guy. So talk to Lillian. Explain what is going on. She can make adjustments. She probably would." "No, I hate her. I don't want anything to do with her, and I definitely won't ask her for anything." Sarah sighed. "It isn't begging, Abby. It's reality. This isn't just a random change you're asking for. It's something Lillian can easily check and adjust. She has your FA. Liam's full authority to make the change for you. I really doubt either Lillian or Liam would refuse you this chance." "It doesn't matter, Mom. I will not ask her for anything. As for him, he didn't even wish me a happy birthday. I hope he stays away." "I hate him too," Abby said. "Do you really hate him, or are you just mad at him? I was also hurt that he didn't reach out to you. No matter what we did to him, ignoring you on your birthday wasn't fair. It was mean. Abby, I don't have answers for you. I wish I did. I think Liam is waiting for an apology from you. You do owe him one, whether you believe it or not. I owe him one too, but I know he won't accept mine from far away. I have to say it to his face. I'll apologize when he returns. You don't have to wait. You can email him and rebuild your relationship." "Why should I start? He cut me off." "Yes, he did. And we know why, right? He felt more hurt by your actions than mine. He might forgive me because I was just his wife, but you were his only child. Do I need to say more? Can you understand how he felt? How he saw what you did and said to him? Come on, Abby. You're too smart not to get it." "It wasn't fair, Mom. He shouldn't have done that to me." "Maybe not from your point of view, but Liam felt justified. So if you want to fix things, you have to start. He thinks it all began with you. Don't let pride or anger ruin your future. It's silly and childish. Admit it to yourself, Abby. You made mistakes. Accept it and make things right." Abby snorted. "You're just saying that because you want him back, Mom." "Yes, I do want him back. I won't deny that. I believe he will come back to me." "You're dreaming, Mom. He won't come back. He already replaced you, but you don't see it." "What do you mean? Who did he replace me with? Are you talking about Lillian?" "Get real, Mom. He could have always been with Lillian." "No, I mean that woman from the army who stood next to him in the Skype call. Did you not notice her?" "I remember someone standing there. I was just too shocked to see him like that. He had a gun and... No, I didn't pay attention to her. It was a woman, Mom. She wasn't just standing next to him, she was really close and had her hand on his shoulder. She never moved away from him. She showed clearly that he belonged to her. How could you miss that? I didn't see that. All I saw was his anger and the gun. Nothing else. I saw it, Mom. I was looking into that woman's eyes. She was with him and she won't leave him. Not there and maybe not even back here. You need to stop thinking he'll come back. I don't believe he will. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. Liam with another woman? It hurt deeply to think about. How could that be possible? Sarah started. You should start dating, Mom. You're waiting for something that won't happen. He left us, Mom. No, he didn't. We left him. Both of us. He might have another woman now, I don't know, but he didn't leave us. That's where you're wrong, Abby. We turned away from him. We treated him badly. We need to accept that and fix it for ourselves. I won't date. I can't have him come back and see me with another man. I have to hope I can make things right. It won't happen if I'm with someone else when he returns. You're dreaming, Mom. He won't care. Are you sure about that? Have you tried to talk to him? Anything? No, you haven't. You once said he was sulking. I saw your texts to him. He wasn't sulking, but you are. Anger flashed across Abby's face. See, Abby? You blame him when you should blame yourself. And me. We are at fault, not him. We did this to him. Did he overreact? Maybe. He acted in anger and pain, but we should have seen it coming. We didn't. We foolishly thought he'd do what we wanted. Lillian was right when she said we didn't respect him. We didn't. Now we're paying for that mistake. It was stupid, Abby. Admit it. Abby's tears were still flowing down her face. I don't know what to say, Mom. He just threw me away like I didn't matter to him. He did what we did, Abby. Abby sniffled and wiped her tears. I never told him I loved him, Mom. Maybe on the phone or in a text, but never face to face. Why is that, Mom? Sarah looked at her daughter for a moment, then shrugged. I think you never felt the need to. That makes no sense, Mom. Maybe not, but it's true. He knew. He always knew. Until the end. I can't fix this, Mom. I don't know how. I don't know where to begin. Oh, sweetheart, do you regret what we did to him? Not what happened to you, but what we did to him? Do you regret any of it? Abby nodded slightly. Yes, she whispered. So, do you really hate him? Abby's face crumpled. No, I don't. I'm just sad and angry. Very angry. I want him back. I want him to love me again, but I know he won't. Sarah gave Abby a small smile. Hang on for a second, honey. I got something today you need to see. Hold on, okay? Abby shrugged as Sarah stood up and went to the room they called their office. Abby heard the printer after a few minutes, then saw Sarah come back into the kitchen. This came for me today, Abby, Sarah said, handing a printed page to her daughter. I was going to give it to you after dinner. Abby took it and tried to read through her tears. She had to wipe her eyes several times to see the words clearly. Sarah, I don't know how to start this or what to say. I thought being here would help me clear my mind, my thoughts and feelings. It doesn't. I can't explain how different it is being here. This place feels like another world. It's so strange that it's hard to think about life back in the States. It's like being on another planet. Still, I need you to do something for me. I would do it myself, but I can't. I don't even know how to ask you. I need you to pass on a message to Abby for me, please. I can't write to her because I don't have an address. I tried to call her on her birthday as best as I could remember it, but her phone number didn't work. Did she give up her phone? I asked Lillian, but she didn't know. Please tell her that I was thinking of her on her birthday, and I did try to contact her to wish her a happy birthday. I regret being so harsh with her. I miss her, Sarah. I miss having her in my life. How do I make things right with her? Can I? Is it too late? I won't be angry if you ignore my request. You owe me nothing. This is not an attempt to get back into your life. I'm not the same person I was when I left. Too much has happened to me. Living in a war zone changes you. I have limited time to send emails. I am at my desk now, but I will leave soon. I'll be out of touch for maybe 3 weeks or more. We have a satellite phone, but it's often unreliable. Please let Abby know that I am thinking of her. I always do. How can I not? Liam Abby read the email 5 times before setting it on the table. Her emotions were a mess. She ate when the food delivery arrived, but she hardly remembered eating. She had more wine, but she barely recalled that either. She stayed at the kitchen table even after her mother said she was going to bed. It was close to 2 in the morning when she finally went to her laptop in the office. Logging into her email, she saw that her mother had forwarded the email from Liam. Abby clicked Reply, adding Liam and Lillian to the address line. Dad, yes, I know I'm not supposed to call you that anymore. I don't care what the court said. I might be the worst daughter in the world, but I am still your daughter. I will always be your daughter, even if I'm the only one who thinks so. Thank you. Thank you so much. I thought I would never hear from you again. I've been so sad and angry. I love and miss you, Dad. I do. As you can see, Mom sent me your email. I've been sitting for hours trying to sort through my feelings and thoughts about what you asked. It's now 3 a.m. and I am still upset. I am sitting in the dark and the only light is my laptop screen, and I still don't know how to say what I must say to you. I need to say many things to you face to face. I don't know if I have the courage to do that. I need to face you, but I am so afraid. A few hours ago, Mom told me I was immature. She didn't say it directly, but I understood. You said the same thing the last time we spoke on the phone. You criticized me for telling you how to handle your relationship with Mom when I had never been in a committed relationship. You were right. I didn't listen. I thought I had all the answers, but I had none. I want to fix things between us. I don't know how. I've had dozens of ideas, but they all fall apart when I think them through. I just don't know what to do. Will you help me? Please, Dad. Show me or tell me what I must do to win back your love and trust. Only you can decide, so please, point me in the right direction. Give me a chance. I hesitate to tell you this next thing. I am afraid that it will make everything else I have written seem fake. It's not, but it might seem that way. I know that, but I must ask you this. Yesterday, at work, during my performance review, I got a pay raise. Mom thinks it's a big deal. I didn't until she explained what most people get at my level, and I was offered a chance to go back to school at my company's expense. They have promised to pay for my master's degree if I agree to work for them for 5 years after I graduate. But to do that, I need to go part-time at my job to attend classes. This means I wouldn't be able to meet the terms of the agreement I made with you. That's why I first said no. But now, I'm asking you to let me do this. I know I don't have the right to ask. I know I don't deserve your help, but I still ask. Please allow me this chance. Lillian can confirm that their offer is real. I have until Friday the 18th to say yes or no. You've said you will be unavailable for the next 3 weeks. So, Lillian, please think about my request. Believe that everything else I've written is sincere. I love you, Dad. Abby Lillian didn't stand when Sarah and Abby joined her at her table. She was still very angry with them, but she knew meeting them was the right thing to do. She hid her feelings and put on a serious face as they sat down. Thank you for meeting me. I wanted to do this sooner, but I had to wait for this to be signed, she said, handing an envelope to Abby. What is this? Abby asked, worried about what was inside. The court has canceled your agreement, Lillian said. I would have given you this sooner, but I couldn't meet with Judge Merkel until this morning. She wasn't happy about it, but she agreed. So, you can still accept your company's offer tomorrow? Abby's eyes widened as she read the paper. She looked up at Lillian and nodded. Yes, they asked me today, and I told my manager I would give a final answer tomorrow morning. Why? Lillian, why did you do this for me? Sarah was surprised by Lillian's actions, too. Abby, if it were up to me, I wouldn't have helped you. I am still very angry at you, but it wasn't my decision. It was Liam's. This is what he would have done, and he wouldn't have hesitated. So you have what you need from him. Thank you, Lillian. Thank you. Does he know? Does Dad know you did this? No, he doesn't. He's out of contact. Again, I don't know what he's doing over there because he can't say, but it's nerve-wracking. He is out of touch more than he is in touch. Still, I believe he will be fine with what I've done for you. Abby thanked her again and studied the document closely as a waitress came to their table. I don't know about you two, but I need a strong drink or two, Lillian said. She ordered a drink. Sarah ordered a double scotch and a glass of white wine. Lillian raised an eyebrow at Sarah's order. Really, Sarah? I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court, and you're ordering wine for a minor right in front of me? Sarah smiled at Lillian. The wine is mine, Lillian. Though it wouldn't hurt for Abby to have a celebratory sip, would it? Whatever, just don't let her gulp it down. Sarah laughed, and Abby looked up from the document to smile at Lillian. Once the drinks arrived, they ordered their meals. Do you have any news about Liam, Lillian? Anything you can share with us? Sarah asked. Lillian thought for a moment. Well, he was told he had a maximum of 14 months to complete the project. You knew that, right? I told you before? About 10 weeks ago, he told me he thought they would finish in about 9.5 months. He said he had a great team working with him. They make very few mistakes, and they correct them quickly. The mistakes happen because they are all working almost non-stop. Liam's company is paying a huge amount of overtime. So he will be home soon then? I don't know about that, Sarah. His timeline isn't firm. It's just estimates, really. I spoke with him on Skype before he left on this trip. Things are getting a bit unstable over there. Liam told me they are starting to face more problems than before. Look, take this with a grain of salt, okay? Liam is very good at what he does, Lillian explained. He has to deal with some local issues, bribes, no doubt. Whatever it is, it might delay him. It could push him back to the 14-month deadline. Why? What could happen to add months to his project? Come on, Sarah, you know where he is. If they start fighting... Sarah's hand shot up to cover her mouth. Has that happened before? Has Liam been in danger? Sarah gasped. Yes, a few times. Once in Iraq, twice in Afghanistan. The captain leading his security team is very good. She handled the attackers quickly. She is very serious about keeping Liam safe. She was the one we saw during the meeting? The woman standing next to him? Abby asked. Yes, that was her. Her name is Maggie Dumbarton. Sarah and Abby looked at each other, saying nothing. Anyway, Liam might come back early, or he might come back later than planned. It's hard to know right now. Sarah's heart was racing at Lillian's words. Not only was her husband, Sarah still thought of him that way, being shot at, he might be close with that captain woman, just as Abby had told her. But did that matter right now? Did anything but Liam coming back safe matter? No, it did not. Sarah wanted him home and safe no matter what. Abby reached under the table and squeezed her mom's hand. Lillian noticed, but stayed silent. He's doing what he likes, Lillian continued. He said there's a freedom in working on this project his own way. He likes that. Plus, the people with him respect him a lot. The soldiers and civilians have become a close group. Being alone out there and in danger brings them together. I think he'll miss that when he comes back. Liam isn't fighting, right? The security team keeps him protected? Sarah asked. Lillian frowned. Most of the time, yes. He's been involved twice when, I don't know who, maybe the Taliban, got through the lines and went for the civilians. Liam stopped them. He held them off until the soldiers could get to them. Oh my God, he's not supposed to be fighting, is he? Sarah asked, shocked. Lillian shrugged. His people weren't armed at the time. They were his responsibility. Liam did what he had to do to keep them safe until Maggie and her team stepped in. Did Dad tell you this? Abby asked. Lillian snorted. Nope. Maggie did, and she wasn't happy to admit it. Maggie, you know her well? Sarah asked. Yes, I do. I've talked to her many times. She's tough to get used to, but I like her. I trust her. Maggie makes sure to contact me when Liam can't. She knows I worry about him and does her best to keep me updated. Maggie told me about the 2 fights Liam was in and was mad at herself for letting it come to that twice. But she also assured me that Liam has been learning small team tactics with her people, so he understands what's happening around him. Liam is learning to be a soldier? Really? Sarah questioned. It makes sense, doesn't it? He's changed. You might not even recognize him if he stood next to you. Do you have any pictures of Dad? Recent ones? Abby asked. Lillian paused, then asked, Are you sure you want to see them, Abby? Are you really sure? Yes. Please, I do. Is that okay? And you, Sarah? He's not your husband anymore. I want to see them too. Please, Lillian, I may not deserve it, but please. Lillian picked up her phone and sent several pictures to Sarah and Abby. The first photo was a group shot. It showed all the soldiers plus the civilian crew. There were about 150 people. Liam was kneeling in the center of the front row. On his left was Maggie, and next to her was a huge young man. To Liam's right was a line of civilians also kneeling. The second photo showed Liam sitting on the ground with his legs crossed. He had a map in his lap and a compass on it. There was snow on the ground. Maggie was squatting next to him, pointing at something on the map with one hand and resting her other hand on his back. Sarah turned pale at that photo but said nothing. The third and final photo was Lillian's favorite. It showed Liam standing in the desert without a shirt, showing his muscles, with a pistol strapped to his chest. He wasn't posing. He was just standing, looking off into the distance. Sarah and Abby's eyes went wide at that picture. They both wondered what he was thinking in that moment. "Yeah, I sent that one to Old Man Abernathy. He made it into a mural and hung it in the corporate lobby. Everyone who walks in the building sees it. They can't miss it. Pretty cool, huh?" "Dad looks so different," Abby muttered. "He does, doesn't he? He works out with the military folks every day. He told me he's even running 3 miles a day," Lillian said, proud of Liam. Sarah looked up at Lillian. She had a question she couldn't bring herself to ask. Lillian knew what it was. "Don't hope for it, Sarah," Lillian said softly. "He hasn't told me anything, but don't expect him to come back to you. I don't know his plans or thoughts, but you shouldn't get your hopes up." Sarah looked as if she had been slapped. "This Maggie woman? I don't know, Sarah. He hasn't mentioned his personal life. When he first got there, I joked about him finding a camel to love. He replied that there wouldn't be any camels in his life. That could mean many things. He hasn't said anything, and neither has Maggie. They are close, no question, but that could just be because of their tough environment and daily stress. Don't think too much about it, Sarah, and don't expect what might not be there when he comes back." "She looks mean," Abby added. "Oh, you mean her expression? She calls that her resting, serious face. It's normal for her. She's very smart, very dedicated, and can be funny, too, if you pay attention. And yes, she can be tough if needed." "She's pretty, in a plain sort of way," Sarah commented. "Maggie is in the army. She's not going into combat wearing makeup, is she?" "I suppose not. Anyway, there's no point guessing what is or isn't, Sarah. Here is the rewritten text. I have a question for you, Abby." "Yes? Why are you calling Liam Dad again?" Abby blushed and tears came to her eyes. "Because he is. I can't change what I did. He's my dad. Even if he doesn't want to be, he will always be my dad." "Do you remember the words he said when you were served? What he wanted to tell you?" "Yes, I do. Actions have consequences. I will never forget those words." "I agree. Do you think the consequences were too harsh?" "I did. Yes, for a long time. He took everything away from me, everything I cared about." "Yes, he did. He did to you and your mother what you both did to him. You took away everything he loved, everything he valued, for no good reason. So do you think you know how he felt, what he went through, and what he feels even now?" Abby nodded. "Yes, I do. Saying I'm sorry isn't enough, but I am. I don't know what to say," Abby cried. "Well, tell me that you learned your lesson," Lillian said in a flat voice. "Yes, I did. I absolutely did." Sarah watched the conversation with interest, wondering where it was going. All thoughts of Maggie Dumbarton were gone. "So you want him back as your father, then?" "Yes. I still think of him as my father, but I want him to feel like my father again. I want him to want me again. I don't know how to make that happen, though. I don't know if I can." Abby's tears flowed, and she didn't try to wipe them away. "Well, here's the thing, Abby. He and I talked a lot about disowning you. I tried to change his mind, but he wouldn't. I've known him for decades, and I've never seen him so hurt and angry. He knew what he was doing. He wanted you punished. He wanted you to feel the pain, the loss, the emptiness he felt. You have, haven't you?" Abby nodded. "Yes. Every day, every minute since it happened." "Do you want that to change? Do you want it undone?" "I don't understand. You can't undo what you did to him, can you, Abby?" "No. I wish I could, but no, I can't." "Well, he can undo what he did. Is that something you want?" "What? Yes. How can he do that, though? Would he do it?" Sarah now understood. Lillian was making Abby suffer, but there was a gift at the end of it. He made a plan to reverse the decision if you asked me to do it, if you convinced me that you truly wanted it, that you really wanted to be his daughter again. Even though he was angry and hurt, he left room for you to come back into his life, his heart. If you truly wanted it. Do you? Yes. What do I have to do, Lillian? Tell me. I will do it. All right. It won't happen immediately, but there are some things you can do to show me you are serious. It helps that you have followed your punishment. You might have done it reluctantly, but you took responsibility and kept your word. So have you made any friends, at work or at home? No, I haven't. Why do you ask? Because that is the next thing you will do. Make at least one friend. Not just an acquaintance. A friend. Get yourself out of your shell and get a life. Do you understand what I'm asking? Yes, but I don't understand. It isn't rocket science, Abby. You probably already know someone, most likely at work. Make a friend. Make a commitment to being a friend. Get a life outside of your home. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and start living. Easy, right? How can I prove I have a friend, though? Because you will tell me. You will be honest with me and I will trust you. It won't happen immediately, but it can happen. Make it happen with someone. All right. I will. What else? Let's start with that. You can keep me updated on your progress, just make sure it's something real. Yes, all right. There is someone at work. She is a little older than me, but I like her. She is nice to me. Her name is Linda. You have a place to start then. Make it happen and make sure your mom meets her. This is your task, Abby, but your mom can help. Sarah, do you have any concerns? No, Lillian, none. Thank you. Thank you. Don't thank me, Sarah. This is Liam's decision at work. His choice. Still, thank you so much. One thing, though. Speaking of decisions, neither of you are part of his current will. The will he made just before he left. Neither one of you are in it. That can't be changed until he returns and changes it himself. You need to understand and accept that. I didn't think I would be part of it anyway. No, but it could affect Abby if the decision is reversed before he returns. Abby being his daughter again would have no effect on his will. She would still not be his heir. That's fine, Lillian, Abby quickly said. I don't need to be in his will. Let me just get back into his life, okay? Let me do that first. Fine, then. Oh, and be careful who you choose to be friends with. Don't choose someone who will get you into trouble. No drugs or any of that. Be smart about it. I will. Linda is nice. I will talk to her tomorrow. Maybe we can do something together on Saturday or Sunday. Lillian shrugged. I'm not your life coach. You figure it out, Abby. You make it work. Abby's eyes filled with tears again, but she had a big smile as she nodded. One thing, Lillian. Is it okay if I write to him? Do you think he would be okay with that? Abby asked. Lillian shrugged again. I think it's fine. You know how busy he is? You might not hear from him much. Still, it can't hurt to try. It's a way to connect, right? It might be good for both of you. What about me, Lillian? Sarah asked. Do you think he would mind if I wrote to him too? I thought you were already doing that, Sarah. He hasn't mentioned anything to me, so I didn't know, but be careful. Keep it simple. Write about easy stuff. I hope you understand. I do. Thank you. I will think about it. I just need... Yeah, I get it. Well, it's been a long day for me. I need to go rest. Thanks for having dinner with me. I'll be in touch. Good night to both of you. Lillian got up and left without looking back. Abby was reading the court papers, setting her free from the judgment. Mom, is this real? Do you think... Is it real? Yes, dear, Sarah said softly. Lillian hasn't forgiven us, but it is real. You need to be sure this is what you want, though. There won't be another chance if you don't go through with it, Abby. I know that. I won't mess it up, Mom. I want to be Dad's daughter again. I miss him, Mom. I know. I miss him too. You have a good chance to get him back. That's what matters now. Let's go home. Tomorrow's a work day. In the car, Abby asked, Do you think you lost him, Mom? Does that picture make you think he's gone for good? Sarah sighed. Yes, I think so. You believe that too. You said it yourself. I did, but now I'm not sure. If he is with that Maggie woman, maybe it's just because of where they are. Maybe it will end when he comes back. Why do you think that? I don't know. Maybe because of who she is. Maggie is a career military, right? She would have to leave that to stay with Dad. Would she want to do that? I guess. You might be right. But I just don't know. Well, if they are together, how do you feel about it? Are you okay with it? Oh, Abby, no, I'm not. How can I be? I still love him. I still want him. How can I be okay sharing him? That's what you were doing, you know? What you wanted, right? I'm not judging, Mom. I pushed you to do it. I cheered you on. I'm not judging. It's the same, though. Just that you aren't married now. Well, maybe he will come back. Maybe he'll give us another chance. Who knows, Mom? He might. There's a big problem, Abby. I broke his trust. I ruined it and laughed in his face. He will never trust me again. Is that really so important? Sarah snorted. Yes, I think it's even more important than love. Yeah? Why? Look, some people have marriages without much love, but they work because they give each other what they need. There are two things that must be there in a good marriage: trust and balance. Trust is easy to understand. Both sides need it. Balance. That's what people call compromise. There is always some give and take in a relationship, but it has to help both sides. If you lose balance, you lose trust, and the relationship ends. Okay, I get that. Well, then you must realize that I ruined the balance in my marriage. I cheated on your father behind his back. I humiliated him. I should have talked to him about my feelings. I should have respected him and given him a chance to understand. I should have let him accept or refuse. Do you think he would have accepted? Sarah laughed. No, and a big no. You know that. You said it yourself many times. That's why I did what I did. I thought I would shock him and then convince him that my being with other men wouldn't hurt our marriage. I didn't know about his assignment, though. Of course, I didn't. I didn't give him a chance to speak at all. I just hurt him. My behavior at that party was stupid. I thought I would say I was drunk and maybe he would forgive me a bit. I even thought it might excite him. It didn't. Your father knew I wasn't drunk. He knew I was lying and he wouldn't let me avoid explaining my actions, my betrayal of our vows. Sadly, I enjoyed being with that man too much at the party. I wanted more of him. So, for 3 weeks, I hurt your father. I don't even know why, because I didn't like that man much. He was full of himself. I guess it was just the taboo thing. That was wild. But it wasn't worth losing your father for. None of it was. What would you have done if you talked to him and he said no? Sarah shrugged. One of two things. I would have changed my mind and stopped wanting to be with others, or I would have asked for a divorce. That would have been fair. Either would have been right. But I didn't do any of that, as you know. Well, think about this, Mom. We saw this Maggie with Dad twice now, in the meeting at Lillian's office and in that picture. Both times Maggie was touching Dad. He wasn't touching her. Think about that. Why do you think that matters? Abby shrugged. Sure, it's just a small amount of information, and we don't know when the picture was taken. But if they are involved, it looks like she cares more about Dad than he does about her. Don't you think? You always said Dad was very loving. I was watching them at the meeting. He didn't do much to show that he cared for her, at least not openly. His voice changed a bit when he talked about her, but I don't know. Don't get me wrong, okay? I hope he is happy with her, especially over there. Sarah didn't say anything. When they got home, both women did the same thing without knowing the other did it. They printed the picture of Liam in the desert, framed it, and put it on their nightstands. They had talked last night. There were no surprises. Liam's project was done. He had just one more day there, and their time together was ending. Maggie said Liam came close, but he didn't win her heart. She liked being with him, but it wasn't enough. She wasn't ready to give up her army career. The army was everything to her. Liam understood and respected her honesty. He didn't think they would last long-term either. It wasn't in her nature to live a quiet civilian life, any more than it was in his to follow her. He had feelings for her, but they weren't strong enough for marriage or a lifelong commitment. They were happy to be on the same page. They decided to take a vacation together once back home, and they would share it with Lillian. That was non-negotiable. Maggie, still smiling with her eyes closed, said, "You were talking in your sleep last night." That surprised Liam. "I was. Did I make sense?" "I think so. You mentioned Abby's name many times. You didn't sound bitter. You also said Lillian's name." "Ha! Well, I'm looking forward to seeing both of them. I'm nervous about Abby, though. I worry she's still mad at me." "Why? She's happy. She tells you that all the time. Why worry?" "I don't know. Maybe she'll feel different when she sees me in person? Maggie tisked. You worry too much, Liam. Was she upset when you Skyped her to say you'd be home soon? No. She seemed happy to hear it. That's because she is. She even said hello to me and asked me to join the call. Did she not thank me for taking good care of you? She seemed sincere to me. She will be fine, Liam. Just enjoy getting your daughter back. Yeah, maybe I'm worrying for nothing. Thank you. It's too bad you won't meet her, though. Why? I don't think she wants to meet her father's girlfriend. It would be awkward for both of us. I'm happy to meet Lillian. That's enough for me. Will you be mad if I invite Lillian to join us? Liam laughed. Go ahead. I think she might be interested. I've never seen her show interest in a woman before, but whatever makes you two happy. I won't complain. Maggie laughed too. It might just be teasing, Liam. I can't make it obvious. The military doesn't like that, but whatever works for us is fine. Did I say anything else in my sleep? Anything funny? Liam asked, chuckling. Funny? No. You mentioned Sarah's name several times. I did? It sounded like it. So I was having a nightmare? Maggie laughed again. It didn't sound like that to me. Ah, well. You should talk to her, Liam. Maybe forgive her. She seems to want to apologize to you in person. Allow her. It might be good for you both. Maggie, I'm not saying meet her right away. In fact, don't do it until after our vacation. I don't want you thinking of her while we're at the beach. Liam laughed. Okay, after the vacation, maybe. I'll have a ton of stuff to do when I get back to work, and I need to find a place to live. You can stay with Lillian as long as you need. You know that. Yeah, but I don't want to impose... Stop it, Liam. You're creating problems where none exist. You and Lillian could end up as a couple from our vacation. Just relax and see what happens. Liam shrugged. No point in arguing, I guess. Like you said, it might just be a joke from Lillian. But I think she likes you. I will take things as they come. Maggie opened her eyes and turned to face Liam. She likes you, Liam. Trust me on that. I told her that you and I won't be together. You did? When? Last week. I was sure last week, and I thought she should know. I asked her to keep it quiet until we talked. I also told her that if she is interested in you, she should show it clearly while we're on vacation. Are you serious? What did she say? Maggie laughed. You'll find out when the time comes. She said she has a lot to make up for, Liam. Happy now? Wow. Yes. Wow. I think you should have married her years ago. Maybe you'll think about that during our vacation. Liam chuckled. Now you're playing matchmaker? Maggie shrugged. I think you need a woman in your life. You loved being married to Sarah. Lillian has always wanted to be married, but never found a man who loves her like you do. I think you two should think seriously about it. Did she tell you that? No, she told me that this is her first chance to be close to you since college. She hopes you will welcome her. Lillian felt nervous as her plane moved towards the terminal. Liam and Maggie had gone back to Georgia 5 days earlier and arrived in Bermuda last night. Lillian had flown first class this morning. She couldn't get rid of her nerves, even though she knew they were both excited to see her. Would things go as she hoped, or would it be awkward? She didn't know, but she would find out soon. Lillian was among the first to get off the plane. Walking into the concourse from customs, she struggled to find them. When she did, her heart nearly stopped. There they were, coming straight towards her. Liam looked amazing. He was tanned, fit, relaxed, and very handsome. His smile was huge. Maggie, too, looked different. Her hair was down and thicker than Lillian had thought. She wore a casual summer dress, sandals, and looked happy. Lillian froze in place, her mouth open. Liam grabbed her into a big hug and then kissed her. It wasn't a simple kiss. Lillian wrapped her arms around him and kissed him back with all her strength. Before she knew it, they separated. She already missed holding Liam when Maggie stepped in to hug her and kissed her too. Maggie's kiss was warm. Lillian returned Maggie's kiss with the same enthusiasm. Again, it ended too soon. Liam and Maggie each grabbed one of Lillian's arms and led her towards the baggage claim. Lillian's mind was still trying to catch up. The baggage claim was quick. Lillian had one suitcase and a smaller travel bag. See, Liam? Lillian knows how to pack for a trip. She could have helped you last year. Hey, no complaints, woman. I was packing for a long time away. And you left most of it behind. Next time, ask Lillian to pack for you. Maybe I'll just call you to pack for me. That way you won't complain about it for a year. How's that? Maggie laughed. Call me to pack for you and you'll have empty suitcases. I would keep you in simple clothes, Liam. Lillian laughed. I think I would do the same, Liam, although I haven't seen you that way. Oh no, I'm being outnumbered. Yes, both women said at the same time. Liam had rented a car, and the trip to their hotel was full of light conversations. The bungalow they rented was beautiful. It was on the beach and private enough that they could be themselves the entire time if they wanted. It even had its own hot tub hidden from view. As they entered, Liam hesitated while Maggie took Lillian's suitcase to the one bedroom. Lillian stopped at the doorway and looked back at Liam. He blushed. We thought this was what you wanted. But if it's not, it's okay. The sofa is a pull-out and comfortable enough for me. Lillian smiled a little and went to him. She took his hand and led him into the bedroom, placing him at the foot of the bed. Maggie? Yes, Lillian, Maggie replied with a grin. Would you help Liam settle in? I've been waiting a year to see him relaxed and happy. Let's make a good beginning for our vacation. Don't you want to freshen up or anything, Lillian? Shh, Liam, we're just getting started. Maggie chuckled as she helped Liam get comfortable, making sure he felt at ease. Lillian stood by, enjoying every moment, feeling happy and excited about the time they would spend together. This version simplifies the language, avoids sensitive content, and ensures that the story is clear and engaging for intermediate English readers. His backside is very sensitive, Maggie said. She let go of him and touched him gently. Lillian's eyes went wide as she saw Liam standing without any clothes. He looked awkward at first, but the two women made him feel calm. Liam had never been with two women at the same time before. He had only dreamed about it. At first he felt a bit out of place, but the women quickly made him feel at ease. They wanted all of his attention. Even though he tried hard to keep up, they were too much for him. Still, he had a great time and would always remember it as one of the best moments of his life. Hours later, Maggie left Liam and Lillian alone in the hot tub. She said she had things to do. Liam and Lillian knew Maggie was giving them some private time. They both appreciated it. Lillian sighed happily. Was today what you expected, Lillian? Liam asked with a smile. It was better than I expected. This isn't something I could do often, but for the start of a vacation, wow, I'm so happy to be here with both of you. And us? You and me? We're good? Liam asked. Yes, Liam, I've wanted this for almost 20 years. Having it now, all I can say is, thank you. Lillian laughed. Does that answer your question? It does, he said with a grin. I was worried. We've known each other so long. I was concerned it might hurt our friendship. Nope. Get that out of your head, buddy. I will take anything I can get from you here, Lillian replied. Here? Just here? Liam asked. Yes, Liam, just here. I really do love you. I always have. But it's not the kind of love that we could build a marriage on. I've thought about it a lot this past year, and I knew for sure when I saw you at the airport. I always want you in my life, but I'm not the right person for you to marry. I can't even be your steady girlfriend. You need more than I can give. As much as I love you and enjoy our time together, I could never be your partner and love you the way you need. I think so. I'm pretty sure I feel the same way. It's tough because I haven't gotten over Sarah yet. I don't know if I ever will. No, you haven't. And no, you never will. It's just the way it is, Liam. She was your everything until she messed up. Liam's expression darkened and Lillian sighed. You're still angry, and I understand. What you did to her and Abby really shocked them. I'm still upset with them, but you need to sit down and talk with both of them. Liam frowned. Abby, yes. But why Sarah? You need to talk to Sarah because she has some things she needs to say to you face to face. She needs to say it, and you need to hear it. Are you taking Sarah's side? No, I'm always on your side, which is why I'm telling you to listen to Sarah. She messed up big time. She knows that. I have to admit, she's been a pain since you left. I've seen her more in the past year than the previous 19 years. She even joined my gym when she found out I was going there. Oh? Why? Lillian laughed. She said she hoped you would want to see her when you got back, and she didn't want to look bad. You will be amazed, Liam. She's been working out really hard. I mean, I go to the gym to lose some weight and tone up a bit. But Sarah took it seriously. She could give Maggie a run for her money now. Really? That's surprising. Lillian grinned. No, it isn't. She knows you and Maggie were a couple and saw Maggie as competition. I never told Sarah, but she figured it out. She never complained to me about it, but knew she had to compete. After I gave her that picture of you looking all tough in the desert, she started training hard. That picture still gives me goosebumps. Liam laughed. I didn't even know that picture was taken until it was given to me. Yeah? So what were you thinking about when it was taken? Lillian asked. Liam laughed again. No joke, Lillian. I was looking for a place to pee. Lillian laughed. Oh no, you just ruined my romantic image of you, Liam. That's the truth, Lillian. Well, don't tell anyone at your company. Old man Abernathy made a life-size mural of it, and it's hanging in the lobby. I've seen it, and it looks even better than my framed photo. I bet a lot of women have dreamed about you because of that mural. Ah, jeez. Anyway, about Sarah. Give her a chance to apologize. It doesn't have to go any further than that. She will surprise you when you see her, but let her say what she needs to say, okay? Do it for me, if nothing else. Liam thought about it and then nodded. I will see her, Lillian. I'll see her just because you asked me to. I doubt I could ever refuse you anything. Oh. Lillian laughed again. Maybe we should talk about you helping me have a baby then. Huh? Seriously? Lillian shrugged. It's crossed my mind, Liam. Over the years, I've thought about a lot of things. Marriage isn't for me, but having kids, yes, I've imagined that. And every time I pictured you as the father. I'm still just young enough to have children. I'm not exactly asking right now, but what do you think? Would you want to have kids with me? Liam was surprised, but took a moment to consider it seriously. Before he could answer, Lillian continued. I wouldn't want child support or anything like that, but I'd want our kids to have your last name. I'd want them to know you as their dad and for you to be part of their lives. Liam smiled. Wow, Lillian. Yes, I'll do that for you. I really will. Lillian's smile widened. Great. I'm not on any birth control. I do have some morning after pills, but if you're willing, I won't need them, will I? You think it could happen this week? That's my hope, Liam. And Sarah will just have to deal with it, won't she? Sarah? What does she have to do with this? Come on, Liam. Sarah made a big mistake and paid for it. Be honest with me. You still love her, don't you? Don't tell me you never thought of her while you were away. Liam frowned. Does it matter after what she did, Lillian? Yes, it does, Liam. She messed up, she was punished, and now you need to forgive her and give her a chance to make things right. I know people, Liam. It's what I do best. Everything she's done while you were gone was to make you forgive her and take her back. She is desperate for you to come back to her. You know I'm right. Don't fight it. I don't know, Lillian. I've changed. So has she. I wouldn't suggest this if I didn't think it would work, Liam. Don't make it easy for her. Make her earn it. I'm not making any promises about Sarah. I'll see her. That's all I'm saying. That's fine, Liam. It will open the door. But remember, we're going to have a baby before you get back together with her. I'm not here to break up your home. Liam laughed. All right, Lillian. Why are we still in this hot tub? Liam stood outside the door for a moment thinking. He wanted to do this. He needed to do this. But he also felt like turning around and leaving. Seeing Sarah again. Could he really go through with it? He quickly knocked before he could change his mind. The door flew open, and he nearly gasped. Dad! Abby shouted, throwing herself at him. Liam was shocked but happy at his daughter's greeting. She held him tightly, crying into his chest. Hey, he managed to say, wrapping his arms around Abby. Hey, sweetheart. Why are you crying? Please stop. Please, Abby. Abby hugged him even tighter. Hey, Abby, it's okay. Everything's okay. Come on, Abby. You're hugging me too tight, sweetie. Abby gave another big sob, but then let go, looking into his eyes. Are you home now? For good? Abby asked. Yes, I am. I've had enough of traveling, so yes, I'm home for good. Abby hugged him again, then pulled him into the condo, stopping in front of another young woman. Dad, meet my friend Linda. Linda, this is my dad, Liam. Linda smiled at Liam as Abby turned back to him. She knows everything, Dad. I told her everything. I have a friend, Dad. That's great, Abby. Linda, it's very nice to meet you. Linda laughed and hugged Liam. Nice to meet you too, Mr. Robertson. Welcome home. I'm sure we'll see a lot of each other. Abby and I have to go now, but we wanted to be here when you came. Would you join us for dinner tonight, the three of us? Liam raised an eyebrow. 3 of you? Oh, sorry, Dad. Mom, Linda, and I. And you. Will you join us, please? Sure. Of course. Are you sure I'm not intruding? Abby snorted. No way! We'll be back by 6. Abby pressed herself into her father again, whispering, Please, Dad, be here. Talk to Mom. And be here when we get back. Please. Liam hugged Abby tightly. I will be here, hun. I promise. Abby let out a mixed sob and hiccup, then hugged Liam again, only letting go when Linda pulled at her arm. Linda had to reach back to close the door, grinning at Liam as she did so. Liam couldn't help but smile, feeling overjoyed by his daughter's reaction to seeing him again. When he turned back, he saw Sarah standing just a few feet away. His breath caught in his throat. Sarah had always been beautiful, but now she was stunning. Lillian hadn't been joking when she said Sarah had focused on getting in shape. Hello, Liam. Welcome home. And thank you for coming by. Liam moved to her in an instant, wrapping his arms around her and giving her a deep, loving kiss. Sarah melted into his arms, whispering her surprise and delight. You fool, he whispered as their lips parted for a moment. You silly fool. Yes, she muttered between kisses. Sorry. So sorry. Liam lost it. All his anger, his pain, his loss turned into an overwhelming need to reclaim what was his. They kissed deeply, pouring out all their feelings. Right there in the hall between the dining room and the living room, Liam and Sarah were alone. There was no worry about anyone coming back. Liam lifted Sarah off the floor and carried her into the dining room. He moved some chairs aside and bent her forward over the table. He held her down with one hand while pressing himself against her. Sarah pushed herself back into him. Liam didn't care about anything else. He pushed down on her back with one hand and held her hip with the other. Sarah could only gasp as he moved against her. You are mine, he said, feeling her strong body under his touch. Yes. All yours, Sarah muttered, feeling Liam's force that she had never felt before. She clawed at the table, loving every moment. We need to talk, he said. Yes, Liam. Yes, now? She asked as he touched her. No, shower first, then we'll talk. In bed, he replied. Sarah smiled through her tears. Follow me, she said. They walked past their clothes without picking them up. In her bedroom, Liam saw all new furniture. Sarah explained, I sold everything old, Liam. It needed to go. No one has been in here except me and Abby. Only I have used this bed. Liam was relieved. He followed her into the bathroom. Their shower was slow and caring. Liam washed every part of her body and her hair. When he finished, she did the same for him. Once on her bed, Liam was gentle and caring. Sarah gasped when he moved closer. She was sore, but it didn't matter to her. She was happy to have Liam back. They took their time, and it was as good as they had hoped. We should get our clothes, Liam said, stroking her arm. Sarah laughed and jumped out of bed. I'll get them, you stay here. She neatly placed their clothes on a chair and returned to bed with Liam. He hugged her close. I really like your new look, he said. Thanks. I worked hard for this, she replied. Lillian told me you did this to compete with Maggie? Sarah blushed and nodded. I didn't want to look old and ugly when you came back. You didn't need to do this, Sarah. There was no competition. I thought I would lose you if I didn't. No, Sarah. Maggie didn't like you at first, but in the last 3 months, she started saying I should get back with you. Not in those words, but that's what she meant. Sarah took a moment to think. She wasn't sure what he meant. What do we do now, Liam? She asked. That depends, Sarah. I have 2 things to tell you. You decide after you hear them. Me? She said, surprised. Yes. Liam told her about his year-long relationship with Maggie and how it started. Sarah laughed at his story about Maggie bumping her head on the inside of the Hummer. That must have hurt, she said, laughing. Yeah, she had a headache for the rest of the day, but those helmets are really sturdy. Sarah felt a bit sad and jealous, but she accepted that it didn't matter anymore. She was glad he was back and safe. I'm happy you had her there, Liam. It hurts, but I'm grateful. I'd like to meet her someday and thank her. Would that be okay? Liam shrugged. I wouldn't mind. It's your choice if the chance ever comes. Thanks. What's the second thing? Liam took a deep breath and sighed. This might be hard to accept, but I made a promise. I need to keep it. Lillian asked me to give her children. She doesn't want to marry or take me from you, but she wants kids and wants them to be mine. At least 2. Children? Like, making babies with her? Yes, me having kids with Lillian. Sarah was shocked. I never expected to hear that. I need time to think about this, Liam. Liam kissed her. Take all the time you need. I'm staying at Lillian's house for now, but not as her lover. We don't share a bed. Once she's pregnant, the sex will stop until she's ready for the second child. One thing to know is that I think Lillian and Maggie might end up together. What? Lillian likes girls? No, she's bi, like Maggie. They connect in ways they don't with me. It's interesting to see. You were with both of them? Yes, in Bermuda, just before I came back. We were there for 2 weeks. You had them both? For 2 weeks? Yes, but midway through the second week I felt like a third wheel, Liam said with a laugh. Lillian will stay close with Maggie and we'll wait for her to finish her career. Maggie wants to reach Lieutenant Colonel before retiring. Maggie is okay with me having kids with Lillian. I think they came up with the idea together. Will they take you away from me? No, Sarah. Maggie and I are done. Bermuda was the end. Lillian wants me back with you. She's firm on that. Except for giving her children, there will be nothing else between us. You've changed, Liam. In some ways, yes, but not in others. It might seem hypocritical, but I wouldn't share you, Sarah. If we get back together, I'd want you to be faithful to me. Monogamous. I couldn't accept anything less. Shh. Take your time. There's no rush. I know I'm asking a lot from you. You want me back, Liam? You've forgiven me? Yes, I want you back. I need you. But as mine and mine alone. That will never change for me, Sarah. This is messed up, I know, but yes, I accept. I can accept you giving Lillian children. I can accept it because she stood up for you. She was incredible, Liam. If anyone deserves your children, it's Lillian. Give her a dozen. I will never complain or be unfaithful to you again. I can't believe I did that to us, to you. I am so sorry. Sarah, stop. It's over. Leave it in the past. She nodded against his chest, crying. I have you back, Liam? You're not just teasing? I'm not, Liam said as he got out of bed. Sarah watched him go to his clothes, take something from his jacket pocket, and come back to kneel by her side. Sarah turned towards him, looking confused. Even though I made a promise to Lillian, I want you back, Sarah, as my wife, Liam said as he showed her the small box in his hand. He opened it to reveal a sparkling diamond ring. Sarah, will you marry me again? Please? Her hand flew to her mouth. She was stunned by his question. She couldn't think or speak, her eyes wide. Sarah! Yes! She shouted when she finally realized what was happening. Yes! Yes, Liam! Liam took the ring out of the box and slid it onto Sarah's shaking hand. She stared at the ring, still in disbelief. You should know that Lillian and Maggie helped me pick out that ring, Sarah. They both want us back together. Liam got back into bed and hugged Sarah. So, future Mrs. Robertson again? Tell me about Abby and her friend Linda. Sarah laughed. Friend? They're way past that, Liam. They're a couple now, and I couldn't be happier for them. Really? You don't mind that Abby is... No, why would I mind? I'm glad she's found someone she cares about. I don't care who it is. Are they serious? Yes, they are. They live here with me. I think they might be thinking about marriage. You'd be okay with that? Wow. It's her first real relationship, though, isn't it? Are they moving too fast? Sarah shook her head. No, I don't think so. Abby's changed a lot. And now with you back, she's so happy. She even learned to dance just so she could dance with Linda. Well, that's great. And Linda? Linda is smart, outgoing, and honest. She goes out of her way to make Abby happy. You'll like her. She's a lot like you in many ways. Abby couldn't have found anyone better. That's wonderful. How is Abby doing in school? Oh, she's doing great. She's good at everything they throw at her. Sometimes I wonder if there's enough challenge for her. But Linda keeps her focused. Abby's never been this happy. They talked a bit more about Abby and Linda. Then Sarah asked, What about work? They won't send you overseas again, will they? No, Sarah. Henry Mr. Abernathy gave me a promotion which puts me in an executive role. I'll lead overseas projects from here, but I'll only travel within the country. You could come with me if you want. They've assigned my old job to others. I just need to settle in and start the job. Do you want to move in with me now? I haven't seen the whole place yet, but I think it might be too small for long-term. I'll need something bigger for work-related events. Are you very attached to this place, or do you think we could find a new house? I need some time to adjust and don't want to take over your life. My life is your life, Liam. I don't owe much on this place. I'd love to find a new house. How about this? I think Abby and Linda might get married. We could pay off my mortgage and give this place to them as a wedding present. What do you think? You'd be okay with that? Yes. I only bought this condo because it was affordable, and I didn't want to have a lot of debt if we got back together. Abby didn't like this place at first, but now she's very comfortable. She even knows the neighbors, Sarah said with a laugh. Dinner that night was amazing for Liam. He felt like he was finally home. Sarah kept touching him, which she hadn't done much before. Liam had always been the more affectionate one. Now she just couldn't stop touching him, and he responded the same way. Abby and Linda were thrilled they were getting married again. Abby talked non-stop about having her family back together. Linda had to calm her down several times during dinner. Liam watched them with a constant smile. Liam didn't move into Sarah's condo, though. He wanted them to find their own house quickly. Sarah agreed, and they found the perfect house on the third day of their search. Liam made a cash offer, which was accepted. It would take a month to close. In the meantime, they switched between her condo and Lillian's house. They also took trips to bed and breakfasts over the weekends while they waited. 2 weeks after Liam came back into her life, Sarah met with Lillian for a relaxed lunch. Lillian seemed a bit uneasy, but Sarah reassured her. "So, any news yet?" Sarah asked with a smile. "No, not yet, Sarah. It's still too soon. Are you sure you're okay with this? Liam giving me children?" "I want the children, but I don't want to interfere with you and Liam getting back together and staying together," Lillian said. Sarah laughed happily. "Don't worry, Lillian. You are not interfering at all. Liam was very honest with me. He gave me a choice, and I accepted it without hesitation. He did for me what I should have done for him before. Plus, his promise to help you is not out of selfishness, unlike how I was in the past. I'm okay with you having Liam's children. I'm actually looking forward to it," Sarah said with a smile. "How so, Sarah?" Lillian asked. "Well, I can't have any more children, or I would be asking Liam to do the same for me. And knowing you, I'm thrilled he agreed to it. I can be Aunt Sarah and I plan to spoil your kids," Sarah said. I have to say I'm surprised, Sarah. Liam told me you accepted, but I didn't really believe it until now." "Believe it, Lillian. I'm genuinely okay with Liam giving you children. In fact, I even thought about asking if I could be there when it happens, just to be a part of it. I didn't ask him, though," Sarah admitted. "Seriously? You would want to be there?" Lillian asked, surprised. "Yes, not to join in, but just to share the experience quietly," Sarah explained. Lillian was stunned. "You've changed, Sarah. You're so different from who you were last year." "I have, haven't I? I was very selfish, and it cost me the only man I'll ever love. I've had a lot of time to think about who I was and who I want to become. I'm not fully there yet, but I'm close. I see what you and Liam are doing as a favor or a blessing, not an affair. Liam is doing something special for an old friend who really wants and needs it. And if I'm being honest, Lillian, I wouldn't be upset if he wanted to keep you as a close friend. I have him back and I want to keep him, but I could share him with you. Just you," Sarah said. "That won't happen, Sarah. I don't want a full-time or part-time man in my life. Just children, no man, not even Liam." "Maggie?" Sarah asked. Lillian blushed. "Probably Maggie, definitely Maggie. But that can't happen for a while as she needs to finish her career with the Army." "So I have no issue with Liam helping you have children. I hope it works out for you." "And you want to be there when it happens? You wouldn't want more than that?" Lillian asked. Sarah smiled. "I don't know, Lillian. I might not refuse if I was invited to join, but I wouldn't be hurt if I wasn't. Just seeing it would be fine. I'm not jealous of you two. I really want Liam to succeed in giving you children. Do I sound crazy?" Lillian laughed. "A little, but no more than me. Before Maggie, I would never have considered being with another woman. Now I kind of prefer it. I still like men, especially Liam. But you always intimidated me, Sarah. You were always the standard for beauty and elegance. I never saw you as a potential partner. Now, maybe?" but Liam would have to decide. You really wouldn't mind seeing him with me? I wouldn't mind. Actually, I find the thought exciting. I would love to see Liam with you. I've never thought of being with a woman, but I like the idea now with you. Would Maggie mind, though? Lillian laughed again. No, not at all. She's even mentioned it before. She thinks it's natural for us. Maggie wants you and Liam in our lives. She doesn't have much family, so we are her family now. She's happy for you and Liam. Just make sure to invite her to your wedding. She wants to be there, and she's hoping you invite her. Will you do that? Yes. Send me her address. I'll make sure she gets an invitation. I want to meet her and get to know her. I owe her a lot, Sarah said. It took some convincing from both women, but Liam finally agreed. Only at Lillian's house, though. The first time, Sarah sat and watched, feeling very excited as she saw Liam pleasing Lillian. She held back from joining the first time, but not the second. The next time, Sarah jumped in, and Lillian laughed as Sarah enjoyed herself with Liam. Afterwards, Sarah felt ashamed and apologized to Lillian. Lillian waved it off. That was great! Poor Liam won't be able to walk straight for a week, Lillian said, laughing. Did he finish off with you, Sarah? No, but I can wait. Lillian quickly pinned Sarah to the bed. Let me show you what I've learned, Sarah. Lillian's actions sent Sarah through the roof multiple times. Sarah wanted to return the favor, but Lillian stopped her, wanting to keep Liam's efforts focused. The next morning, when all three were awake, Lillian returned from the bathroom with news. You did it, Liam, Lillian announced, showing them the positive test. I'm pregnant, this test says so. They celebrated together in bed. Liam gave his full attention to both of them. Then he watched as Lillian and Sarah shared tender moments. They spent all day showing love to each other. Liam kept his promise to stay away from Lillian. Sarah suggested he keep seeing Lillian, but he refused. He only wanted to help Lillian have children. Now, he wanted to focus only on Sarah. Maggie came to the wedding. At the airport, Abby was the first to rush up and give her a big hug. Abby thanked her a lot for bringing her father home safely. Then Sarah hugged Maggie tightly and kissed her cheek. At first, Maggie felt odd with Sarah's hug, but it quickly passed. Maggie warned Sarah, "Don't hurt him again, Sarah. He deserves the best from you." Sarah nodded, kissed her again, then stepped aside so Liam could greet Maggie. His hug was warm and heartfelt. Maggie hugged him back tightly. She missed him more than she wanted to admit. Next was Lillian. Maggie got more than a hug from Lillian. Much more. Hey, get a room, you two! Liam laughed. Linda was the last to greet her, welcoming but calmer. Maggie's mind was spinning, but she was the happiest she had ever been. The wedding was small, with a justice of the peace. Abby wanted to be Liam's best man. Lillian was Sarah's maid of honor. They had a small party after. Then Liam and Sarah went on their honeymoon to Bermuda. They stayed in the same bungalow Liam had used with Lillian and Maggie, as Sarah asked. The newlyweds mostly stayed inside the bungalow. A year later, Abby and Linda got married. Sarah and Liam gave them the condo as a gift, and they also paid for the honeymoon. The girls chose Tahiti. A year and a half later, Abby finished her master's degree in finance. Linda also had a finance degree. A few months later, Linda told everyone she was pregnant through in vitro. She had twins. Lillian had 2 children with Liam, both girls. The first was named Sarah, and the second was named Abby. Lillian chose the names, and Liam was fine with it. Sarah was there the whole time, and the second baby was conceived in Sarah and Liam's bed. Sometimes when Maggie visited, Sarah would suggest they all have fun together. They did, and Liam was often outmatched. He didn't mind. He was just happy to be with Sarah. Sarah never forgot again that Liam was her world and her greatest joy. Like Abby, she knew that actions have consequences. Hey, audience! If you liked this video and want to keep up with more thrilling stories, make sure to subscribe to Prince Cheating Tales and hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss out on our upcoming adventures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next wonderful story.